You would think with the vast historical past of the African continent, you would hear of the many great empires from the past, such as Abyssinia, the Songhai Empire, and the Empire of Mali, and many more. But to most people, they would be surprised to hear about the Central African Empire, which I'm sure you've never heard of. And this is its story. From December 4th, 1976 to September 21st, 1979, the nation of the Central African Republic was officially known as the Central African Empire, after military dictator Marshal Jean-Bedal Bokassa declared himself Emperor of Central Africa and declared the republic an empire. Bokassa came to power after a military coup against then-President David Dacko on January 1st, 1966, for which, fun fact, they're actually cousins, believe it or not. After Bokassa became president and eventually dictator of the nation, he would desperately try to have friendly relations with France, which he fought for in his early years as a teenager. Bokassa would get that support that he wanted from France eventually, and even from Libya's Gaddafi, but it wouldn't last for that long. In September 1976, Bokassa dissolved the government and replaced it with the Central African Revolutionary Council and created a new constitution that transformed the republic into the Central African Empire, with himself as his imperial majesty, Bokassa I. Bokassa was also a big fan of Napoleon Bonaparte. Even his nickname became Africa's Napoleon. Bokassa would be formally crowned on the 4th of December, 1977. The coronation was estimated to cost his country roughly $20 million, which was 1/3 of the CAE's annual budget and all of France's aid money for that year. Bokassa sent many invitations to many world leaders, but nobody showed up, and in most cases in the Western world, Bokassa was portrayed as a laughingstock, and would even be compared to Ugandan dictator Idi Amin. Either way, Bokassa, king or not, ruled the nation with an iron fist. Anyone who spoke out against him would find themselves getting beaten or tortured. Rumors abounded that Bokassa himself occasionally participated in beatings and executions. These actions from Bokassa would get noticed by the world stage, and by January 1979, French support for Bokassa had all but eroded after food riots in Bangui led to a massacre of civilians. By September 21st, 1979, former President David Dacko would proclaim the fall of the Central African Empire with the restoration of the Central African Republic. Bokassa would spend the next several years in exile, but would eventually get put in trial in his own nation and would serve time in prison until the year 1993, where he was freed by President Kolingba. And eventually, Bokassa died of a heart attack on November 3rd, 1996, at his home in Bangui at the age of 75. Bokassa's story is definitely one of the strangest in history, but definitely unknown to many. Sadly, the nation of the Central African Republic would end up falling into a civil war years later in 2012. But that will be a story for next time. Remember, kids, eat your vegetables.